Hi everybody, it's Caitlin again. I'm here at Franklin Park Zoo today, and we are here with Chip. And Chip is one of our young American alligators. We have two of them that live together here. And we're out today in the playground, and we have the sun shining down on us so that Mr. Chip can get some sun today. So give him some, he's wiggling around a little bit, getting a little bit more active in the sun. But Chip here is about 2 years old, and it can be pretty hard to age alligators because they can grow at different rates, but they grow about a foot a year on average. So Chip is about 2 years old, and he's going to continue to grow until he's about at his full size, which for males would be about 10 feet. For females would be about 10 feet. Males can be up to 15 feet, and they can be very heavy. Males can be up to 1,000 pounds. It's a very heavy alligator, but they can be up to 1,000 pounds. And females are usually more in the 200 to 500 range. So Chip is going to keep growing until he is about that size. And American alligators are most popular in the southeastern region of the United States, found living in marshes and swamps and any fresh water there. And when they're this young, there's lots of different predators that are going to want to prey upon them, because as they grow, they get larger. But when they're this small, there's many different things that would be able to have them as a snack. So they have to be very careful. And one of the things that they have on them, if you can see these stripes, this is for camouflage, and this camouflage helps them to blend in the tall grasses of the marshes so that hopefully they'll blend in and that the predators won't be able to see them. When they are born, their mothers, most reptile mothers, don't stay with their young for very long. They don't need their mother's milk like mammals do. But with alligators, what's pretty cool is when they do hatch out of their shells, their mom will bring them down to the water within her mouth. But once they're in the water, she releases them and they're on their own. But what's cool with alligators is that they are known to stay in the same general area as their mother, so that if they do get themselves into trouble, they'll make a little chirping noise that will signal to their mom, and she can hopefully come and help them. Because when they're this size, even other alligators will prey upon them. So their mom kind of can help them get out of trouble sometimes. But what they'll be eating at this size is different kinds of fish, small mammals, other small reptiles, and as they grow, they just eat larger and larger of those things. So once they do get to their full size, not much is going to bother them. As you can see with their long tail, they can swing that as a way to defend themselves, and also they can swim very, very fast with that tail. So as Chip is moving around on me here, you're getting a little glimpse at some of his cool adaptations. So he does have this long tail, which I just mentioned, but he also has, if you can see here on his feet, he has partially webbed feet. So that helps him both in the water and on land. So the webbing, of course, helps him to swim, but the claws on here help him to be able to dig and walk on land. So the other really cool adaptations about alligators, we mentioned the camouflage that they grow out of as they get older, but they also have all of the different openings on their face can close, which is really awesome. So on the eye right here, you may have seen a couple minutes ago, he was closing it. They do have a clear eyelid that comes across, kind of like goggles, and then they have a full eyelid. Oh, he just closed it right there. A full eyelid that will close completely, like when we close our eyes. His nose too, right up there, they're basically closed right now, but his nostrils at the top, he can close those as well. And then my favorite one is actually his throat. So his mouth is closed right now, but a lot of times you'll see alligators basking and they'll have their mouth wide open. And if you look into the back of their throat, you'll just see pink. You sometimes won't even see anything else. And that's because they have a flap in their throat that they can open and close. Because when they go underwater, because you can see the teeth here, they have no lips. So they have no way of stopping water from flowing into their mouth. So they can close that flap so that they're not constantly having water go into their throat when they're underwater. If they do want to take a drink, they can open that flap, but they have control over that. So that's my favorite part. And then looking at the teeth, that is one way for us to be able to help determine if it is an alligator or a crocodile. So if you take a minute to think about if you know the difference between an alligator or crocodile, or when you look at Chip, what you should be looking at to help us determine what he would be. And that is all has to do with the snout. So on his teeth, I know he has small teeth, so it's kind of hard to see, but when their mouths are closed, on alligators, you can only see the top row of teeth. And on crocodiles, you can see both top and bottom. And the other piece is their snout. It's kind of hard to tilt him down, but his snout is a U shape, whereas the crocodile snout is going to be more of a V shape. It can be tricky to tell them apart because you can't always see that snout very well. But size and color can be really tricky to help determine the difference between them, because that can look really similar. The American alligator is also a really awesome conservation story from many years ago, but they were being hunted and they were dropping in numbers. So in the 1960s, they were put on the Endangered Species Act, and that was able to help them immensely have protection of the American alligators, and their numbers, their population went up. So now in 2020, they are of least concern, meaning their population is stable, they have healthy numbers. So we thankfully brought them back very successfully, which is a really great conservation success story for the American alligators. You can see his eye closed a little bit there. I think the sun's shining into it, so he's closing it. But we brought him out here just to get some sun and bask, and after this he's gonna go back into his big pool and be able to swim around in there. But I hope you enjoyed learning about our American alligator here at Franklin Park Zoo, and please keep tuning into our 1:30 Zoo to You. Bye.